Hey guys, welcome to the next part of my video game collection. This time I'm going to show you the IZ2, Intellivision, ColecoVision, and Atari 5200 games, all in that order. First up is the only IZ2 game that I have, The Quest for the Rings. This is one of those IZ2 games that came in this huge box. I think the other one was Conquest of the World. And it's like a board game meets video game. You put this over the keyboard part of the console. And here is a cartridge with one of those shiny gold labels. Normally they'll be in black, but in this case it's like a shiny gold. Yeah, it's only one of those big box games. It's got this little handle and it doesn't have an end label, just this handle. And here's some of the pieces. Now I don't know if every piece is in here. I don't even know if there's any missing pieces or not. Probably is. And here is the board itself. And sadly, I think it might be missing the original instruction manual. That's the only thing I can think of that's pretty much missing. Which is rather unfortunate. And what's really unfortunate is that, well, my IZ2 isn't working right. It doesn't want to come on at all. That's why I never bothered collecting any more games for the console at this point. Alright, now for the Intellivision games. All but one are complete in box. Or mostly complete in box, I should say. First up is horse racing. And most of the boxes are like beaten up. Oops. Here's the original instruction manual, overlays, and the cartridge. What's interesting about the Intellivision is one of the few game consoles that actually has a keypad where you put the overlay on it, on the controller. Las Vegas, Poker, and Blackjack. This one's missing the manual. All we got is the overlays and the cartridge. There we go, you can see the label. Here's one of those slightly better boxes. Las Vegas Roulette. Whoops. Here's the manual, overlays, and the cartridge. Night Stalker. Here's the manual, overlays, and cartridge. Reversey. Here's the instruction manual, overlays, and here's the cartridge that just fell out of the box. So sorry about that, guys. NFL Football. This is actually one of those early football games that actually has the NFL license. Okay, here's the manual, overlays, and cartridge. Note the lack of the NFL logo on the cartridge and overlays there. NHL Hockey. Another official league licensed sports game. Here's the manual, cartridge, and overlays. The overlays lack the logo, but interesting enough, the cartridge actually says NHL with the logo on it, unlike the NFL one. Space Armada. Anything with the word space in the title, you'll guarantee a space-like game. And this is actually a clone of Space Invaders, judging by the... Okay. Here's the manual, overlays, and here's the cartridge. So we're falling out of place in the box. And one thing I noticed, there's actually an original catalog here too. So I find rather neat. And it's got some dog ears on the bottom. I'll have to see if I can get that back together. First time I ever came across the Intellivision catalog. Didn't notice it till now. Space Battle. This one doesn't have a gatefold. I have to open the box. Yeah, most of them has gatefolds, others don't. So, let me see if I can get all the stuff out of here. Here's the manual. And I think this is actually a reprint, because not only the manual is different, it's printed in black and white, but look at the cartridge. Look at the cartridge. See, it's in plain white, just like some of the Intellivision Atari 2600 cartridges I showed you in a previous video. I think this was after Mattel sold off the Intellivision name and trademarks and other property. Here's one of the overlays. Look at that. It kind of looks like Triforces. Star Strike. The manual, the overlays, and the cartridge. And the last first-party game I'm going to show you, Tron Mazatron. Tron Legacy is going to come out DVD and Blu-ray next month. Just in case you guys wanted to know. Here's the instruction manual and the cartridge. I don't know if it has overlays or not, but one thing I do know, yeah, it does have overlays. Right here. They were hiding behind the manual. And it has that same catalog that I showed you earlier. Slightly better condition. Not much dog ears. Alright, now for the only game that's made by Activision. Pitfall. With a little sticker on the bottom. It almost resembles the 2600 version in some ways. It's actually one of those slide out boxes. This is a little advertisement showing the aforementioned Pitfall that I'm showing you right now. and Stampede. It's a tough game, no bull. Yeah, there is no bull about it. And like the 2600, some of the Intellivision cartridges are actually different. At least the third-party games. Here's what the back of the Activision cartridge looks like. Note that the Activision logo is much different than the logo is much different in the television releases, at least. Whoops. Game fell out. Alright. Let me see if I can get this back in here. It's kind of hard getting it back in the box. There we go. Now for the only game that's made by Coleco, Donkey Kong, and the box is in really bad shape. Unfortunately. Show you the better looking side. Yeah, it's all beaten up. And, well, at least in the television version, Donkey Kong doesn't look too much like the Gingerbread Man. It's actually got the original instruction manual. Here's the cartridge. Oops. And notice on the back it says, insert other side up. And here's the instruction manual. Slightly beat up as well, but not in bad condition as the box, I can tell you that much. See if I can get this back in here. Well, at least the Intellivision version is much better than the 2600 version. But not as good as the Coleco version or the arcade version or later console versions. Okay, I got a couple of games from Parker Brothers. This is Frogger. Okay. This box actually opens up like a box. Here's the instruction manual with the corner cut out. Assume it might be for the proof of purchase or something. I don't know. Now the cartridge itself. Note the gold label there. Oh, and on the back we got the Parker Brothers logo embossed on there. Well, that was the Intellivision port of Frogger. Here's a Star Wars game. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. And like the other one, this also comes out like a box. Here's the instruction manual. Once again, the corners cut out, like the other instruction manual I showed you a minute ago. The cartridge. Another gold label. And here are two games from Sears, and like the 2600, Sears actually licensed the official games and released it under their own label. Poker and Blackjack. Yeah, identical like the first party versions, only under the Sears name. The cartridge label and the inner overlays are exactly the same, but the manual, of course, is different. And the last Intellivision game we're going to show you is Space Battle. This is the Sears version. and the box is slightly beat up. Here's the manual and the cartridge. And I don't think it has the original overlays. But don't worry, I got the original Intellivision version of Space Battle. I can always use that. Okay. And now for the ColecoVision games. All are cartridge only. I don't have the original boxes or manuals or whatnot. Okay, here's Cosmic Avenger. Donkey Kong. Believe it or not, this is the most superior out of the retro consoles. Some might argue that Coleco made those other consoles versions inferior on purpose. Donkey Kong Jr. Frenzy, or Stern's Frenzy. Now, it also says for ColecoVision and Atom family computer system. That's Coleco's ill-fated attempt at the computer market. Yeah, the Atom computer, some say, is riddled with errors and bugs. Yeah, it was a failure. Okay, there's Ladybug. Mousetrap. Now, believe it or not, like the Intellivision, it also has keyboard-like overlays as well. There's even a slot right there that holds the overlays, which I find kind of interesting. Oh, in the back of the top, it has the Coleco logo embossed on there. Mr. Do. Pepper 2. I'd like to know what happened to the first Pepper. Is that even ever made? Oh well. Space Fury, or the official Space Fury. And believe it or not, like nowadays, Sega was actually a third-party developer, at least in the US. Until they got their hand in the console market with the Master System in the late 80s. Venture. Zaxxon, or the official Zaxxon, which is also made by Sega. Now for the only two third-party games that I got for this console. Here's Blockade Runner from Interphase. It also has this weird handle on the top. Here's the back of it. And lastly, Q*bert from Parker Brothers. You know, whether it's the 2600 Intellivision or even the ColecoVision, they still use that same ridge-like design. And there's the Parker Brothers logo embossed on the top there. And before I move on, I'm going to show you the one cartridge-only Intellivision game I forgot to show you. Utopia. Alright, now for the Atari 5200. I only got 3 cartridges for this console. The reason is, well, the controllers for the console, yeah, they're really bad. Every time I try to fix it, it always breaks. Yeah, those controllers are the reason why this console bombs so much. Okay, this is Pac-Man, which is actually a pack-in of the 5200, at least later on. Now this is where an overlay will come in here. And there's no in label. It's just another bad thing about it. Oh, speaking of overlays, we got a couple here. This is what a 5200 overlay look like. Goes over that infamous controller. Yeah. Here's Centipede. And I also got the original instruction manual. And the last 5200 game I got is actually the only third-party game I got for this console. Q*bert from Parker Brothers, and it still uses that Ridge-style cartridge. Unfortunately, the end label is kind of peeled off. Here's the back of it. Has the Parker Brothers logo embossed on it. Okay, that does it for my various retro consoles. The Odyssey 2 Intellivision, ColecoVision, Atari 5200. Next up, I'm going to do the Atari 7800.